For years, we've heard stories about the CEO of JP Morgan wanting to fight against the crypto industry, calling Bitcoin basically rat poison, calling it a scam, calling it as dumb as a box of rocks. All these attacks against Bitcoin and crypto have come from the CEO of Chase Bank. And now today, the crypto industry is fighting back, and Grant Cardone says that he canceled his JP Morgan account and moved everything over to Wells Fargo. Why? On account of crypto. Let's talk about it in this video, guys. Also, Operation Chokepoint 2.0, the boxing out of the crypto industry from the traditional financial sector. That fight still goes on as Senator Cynthia Lummis is speaking out today. Jack Mallers, the CEO of another major company, is out there fighting against JP Morgan as well because he got kicked out of a Chase Bank. These are stories that we need to discuss in this video. Look at the price action because as of lately, we have seen Bitcoin getting some kind of bounce. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on here in crypto. Today, Bitcoin is sitting at $87,400. Let me refresh this, make sure these prices are accurate. $87,000 right now at the time of this recording. 87,400. There you go. It's updated. Ethereum is at just under $3,000. And again, we're getting a little bit of a recovery for crypto today. If we look at some of the big gainers, big losers, there's a couple coins that are coming up right now, just a few, but we still do have a couple bleeders as well. Zcash is falling. I know my partner on this channel, Blacksea, is currently shorting Zcash with a pretty successful trade. I've been shorting Bitcoin as well and doing a lot of trading myself over on Blowfin. Now, for those of you guys that are curious about trading or you want access to our private Discord, well, if you sign up for Blowfin using our link in the description of this video, you will get access to our private Discord for free. All you have to do is sign up. No deposit requirements, but if you do deposit funds, there is up to a $5,000 deposit bonus over on Blowfin. That's where we're doing all of our trading. I'm still in a pretty profitable short, about $4,800 in the profit on this Bitcoin short. I have a stop loss set at $1,000 in the profit. If Bitcoin goes back up to $100,000, then I know I will at least profit $1,000 on this trade. I cannot lose this trade unless I move my stop loss. That is the way that stop losses work. When you're in the profit, you can make sure you keep that profit as long as you set your stop loss accordingly. Not financial advice as always, guys. If you want to trade, check that out. Let's talk about the volatile news, starting with this Grant Cardone story, and we'll get into some of what I think comes next for the crypto industry, because this news is causing people to get bullish again, believe it or not, and we'll talk about why. So Grant Cardone canceled his JP Morgan account and moved his entire account to Wells. Now, this is a big deal because if you can see in the background here, Grant Cardone, a very famous, wealthy entrepreneur, huge presence in media, moving his worth, and this is a guy who's got a lot of worth. He's got a private jet, so he moved immense amount of capital, canceled an account. What a commitment that is. What a huge statement that is. Moved it all over to Wells Fargo. Why would he be doing that? Well, here's one of the big stories going on right now. A lot of people are reporting that JP Morgan is trying to bankrupt MicroStrategy. Is this true? Is this a rumor? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Here's some of the details that I gathered for you guys in this video. So apparently, JP Morgan is shorting MicroStrategy stock. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, and you should know, Michael Saylor is one of the biggest accumulators of Bitcoin out there. MicroStrategy's company has bought billions upon billions of dollars of Bitcoin. They are the largest publicly traded company to own the biggest stack. They're the biggest holder of a public traded company of Bitcoin. So very significant. And JP Morgan is allegedly shorting this stock and dumping Bitcoin in an effort to allegedly liquidate Michael Saylor and profit billions. So, of course, naturally, the crypto industry is enraged. Grant Cardone is clapping back because he's a big crypto supporter as well, canceling his accounts. You've got this hashtag boycott JP Morgan deal going out. Close your account, move your money, tell your friends. Grant Cardone's even doing it, right? This is the idea. Now, I am not telling you guys to do that. You guys got to do what you want. I'm just telling you about this movement that seems to be going on. Hashtag boycott JP Morgan. I personally use Chase, and I actually think it's a really well-established bank. I don't like the leadership. I don't like what the company's doing. But in reality, is Wells Fargo any better or any of these? No. The reality is that it is the banking industry against the crypto industry. And if you want to survive for the long haul, what you're going to have to do is hop on the crypto train. Now, JP Morgan and is going to get some clash, a lot of flack over this. They're going to get some pushback, and they're going to have to pivot, and they're going to have to you're going to have some ground to make up, and they're going to have to save some face, and they're going to have to go in a very pro crypto direction. That's what always happens. Use Bud Light as an example, and I'm going to just leave it at that. When companies get backlash and people want to boycott companies, there is backlash, and then the company typically has to go the other direction. So honestly, as bearish as this is, that the biggest banks out there is trying to short MicroStrategy and dump Bitcoin, first of all, I am not surprised. Have you listened to what the CEO has been saying for years? Second of all, you know that the banks have felt threatened by the crypto industry for a while, but they will have to get in line and get on board. Now, here's the reality of the situation. You guys remember us hearing about Operation Chokepoint 2.0. Well, Senator Cynthia Lummis today came out and said, regrettably, it lives on. Banks are still trying to box out the crypto industry. And in this one, they're not even talking about MicroStrategies and the short position that JP Morgan has on MicroStrategy. In this one, we're actually seeing JP Morgan Chase ends banking ties with Strike CEO, rekindling crypto debanking concerns. What's going on here? Well, look at the post from the CEO of Strike himself, Jack Mallers. Last month, JP Morgan Chase threw him out of a bank. This multimillionaire, maybe even a billionaire, I think he is a billionaire. I think he's a billionaire. Threw him out of a bank. It was bizarre. My dad has been a private client there for 30 plus years. Every time I asked them why, they said the same thing. We aren't allowed to tell you. Well, what's going on, JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon? What are you doing? Are you moving forward with Operation Chokepoint 2.0? This is now illegal. I think this could cause some problems for JP Morgan, but in reality, the bank is probably too big to fail. Okay, so some people are coming out now and saying, crash JP Morgan, buy Bitcoin. This is that bullish narrative I'm talking about. So now there's actually people that are taking this situation of JP Morgan battling the crypto industry and spinning it into a bullish story for Bitcoin. Is this the thing that could save us from the bear market? Is this the thing that can get Bitcoin to pump back up? This whole fight back against Wall Street, fight back against JP Morgan and the bank, buy Bitcoin. I don't know if that is going to be enough. This isn't like the GameStop movement necessarily. We've had waves of that. Maybe we could see that. But we do have people, the bulls, kind of grasping at straws here, saying, crash JP Morgan. And we have some people coming out and saying things like JP Morgan to potentially go bankrupt. Well, fact checked by Grok, okay? And they're saying here, potential 50% surge in MicroStrategy could bankrupt JP Morgan, which holds a major short position in stock. Investors are boycotting JP Morgan over naked shorting ties to Epstein, which is kind of creepy, and its anti-crypto stance. I think that the Epstein thing is just an add-on to this, but here's the challenge by Grok. So what are the facts here? Are they actually shorting it? Well, claims of JP Morgan's major short in MicroStrategy are unconfirmed rumors per sources like TradingView and 4 O'Clock. Overall, MicroStrategy's short interest is around 25 million shares, 9.7 float as of October 2025, with JP Morgan listed amongst many institutions. So they are partially shorting it. It is partially, they are part of it, but a 50% MicroStrategy surge wouldn't bankrupt JP Morgan. Okay. It just wouldn't do it. Okay. So, but everybody's talking about here you go. Cardone, Mallers, there you go. And the conversation over these, Epstein ties as well. So they are getting clapped at in the media. It's very interesting. That's what you get when you go against crypto. You just get rumors circulating, like as of today, over 500,000 requests to have accounts closed now in the system due to JP Morgan's attack on MicroStrategy and because they were the banker for Jeffrey Epstein. Oh my gosh. Look at all the drama unfolding in the crypto space today. Does this change my strategy in having the short position on Bitcoin? No, I've got my take profit set, $1,000 in the profit. I could sell all that. I could close this out, profit $4,700 right here. However, historically speaking, when a bear market comes, it typically lasts for about a 1 year, and that's what we've seen in these 4-year cycles. I still do believe in that. I do not think that the news today changes that. However, it does look like we are potentially getting a bottom, and there is a chance that my trade could get stopped out in the profit, which is fine. Yesterday, I talked about how Bitcoin needed to kind of get above this sort of trend line, and it kind of maybe sort of kind of did, not so much. I don't really know if we're going to see Bitcoin continue this rally, but nothing goes straight down and nothing goes straight up. So there is room for bounces. This JP Morgan story might be fueling this bounce today. We also had some favorable inflation data come in recently. We have Fed rate cuts coming. This is all very bullish for crypto and the crypto industry. But if we're going into a broader bear market, maybe that just limits the downside instead of sending us back into a bull market, because I personally still believe in the 4-year cycle. I'll still leave a chance that we go back into some kind of bullish mania phase. A lot of people say this time is different. I get that. But here's the real takeaway from this video today. If you fight crypto in the long run, you will probably lose. Grant Cardone just closed his bank account. That's a huge deal. Jack Mallers, another major CEO, is speaking out against JP Morgan. It's a movement that is seemingly unstoppable. You can't really stop Bitcoin or crypto. It's here to stay. Get with it or get left behind is basically the message that society is saying to the banking system right now. So Jamie Dimon, listen up. Pay attention, buckaroo. We're paying attention to what you're doing, anti-crypto banker guy. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. DCA, hold on, my friends. I'm Crypto Cape. This is the Crypto Report. 2 videos here right here if you want to check them out. I'll see you in the next one, y'all. Peace, love, deuces, mooses. See you next time, y'all. Check out the affiliate link in the description down below as well. Peace.